evil or the logical problem of evil?
I don't think it's a good argument.
Which one?
It's probably the strong.
Why? What's the refutation, sir?
Yeah.
I would say it's the strongest argument, but it's weak.
Which one? Evidential or logical?
So you have no argument?
Which one? Evidential.
Wait, what's the that's just
the evidential and the
refutation?
All right. Lay out the evidential problem just so we can be clear you understand it, and then give your objection to it.
Okay. It's seemingly that gratuitous evil exists. If God existed, gratuitous evils would not exist. Therefore, seemingly God does not exist.
Are you laying out the logical problem or the probabilistic? Evidential is the wrong word. There is no evidential.
Sorry, I got disconnected. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Sir,
it's B3.
What the fuck? You don't know whether I just said the evidential or the logical problem of evil? I thought you were an advanced Christian, sir.
Is he the type like the ontological reason where he's just like, oh, God exists in all?
What the fuck? My conclusion was
worlds, therefore
my conclusion. What the fuck? My conclusion was seemingly no gods exist. You know that's not the logical problem of evil.
That's probabilistic. The other fellow said evidential.
Yeah, so it's not logical, is it? It's not the logical problem of evil.
But the other fellow said evidential, and that's not a real thing that I've ever heard.
Okay, so B3, I thought I changed my mind about you, B3. If you don't even know the difference between the evidential problem of evil and the logical problem of evil,
I've never heard of evidential. I've heard probabilistic.
The probabilistic and evidential are the same one.
Would be fucking really nice right now, you piece of shit.
Shut up, Agnes.
I'm just sorry that I haven't heard the phrase evidential.
So the logical one is going to be deductive, right? There's no probability, but the evidential one is just a probability. So the evidential and probability are the same objection.
Okay, so
I gave an argument. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to do a red herring with is it logical or evidential anyway? What's the fucking refutation? Sir, what premise do you disagree with?
Now, Godless, you need to calm down a little bit. You're doing the Darth Dawkins thing.
He can't follow the premises because he's just gonna.
Oh, don't start getting emotional. Don't start getting emotional. Just answer the question.
I heard the premises. I understood them. Relax.
Okay, so which one do you disagree with?
Okay, I disagree with the idea that there wouldn't. The second premise, I think it was that there wouldn't be seemingly gratuitous evil.
No. The second premise was that gratuitous evils would not exist.
Seemingly.
If God existed. No.
And that's what I just said.
No. The first premise is seemingly. It's seemingly that gratuitous evil exists. All I need for the second premise is if God existed, gratuitous evils would not exist. I don't need the seemingly. Seemingly is not in the second premise.
Then that wouldn't follow because you're switching from seemingly.
Yes, it does follow. Because if seemingly gratuitous evils exist, and it's the case that if gratuitous evils exist, then God doesn't exist, then seemingly it's the case that God doesn't exist, sir.
You'd have to establish the second premise that gratuitous evils do exist, not just seemingly.
The second premise isn't that gratuitous evils exist, sir. You're confused. The second premise was that if God existed, gratuitous evils would not exist.
So what's the third premise? That they do?
There is no third premise. The conclusion is seemingly God doesn't exist.
Okay, so sure.
So which premise do you disagree with, sir?
Okay, I got it now. Hang on, relax. Let me think for a moment. I would say seemingly is a little bit vague and suspect. I don't think you can actually declare that it's seemingly that gratuitous evils exist.
But you did. You said seemingly.
Look, does it not seem, even if it's not the case, sir, even if it's not the case that gratuitous evils exist, from your limited, fallible, finite mind, doesn't it appear look, God might have morally justified reasons, right, for permitting these evils, for permitting suffering. He might have those. Sure. But it seems like you don't know what they are because you don't have access to God's reasons. So it seems like right now there's an animal suffering in the wild, being eaten alive in the wild. All it means for a suffering to be gratuitous, right, is for that animal to suffer 1 second longer than needed be. And it could be the case, the animal's dying right now. It could be the case God could have made it the case that that animal lived 1 second less and suffered 1 second less, but yet he did not. So certainly it seems like that extra second is gratuitous.
It seems like that to
now,
you.
If you disagree with that, you're just being dishonest.
No, I would say
seems. He said the word seemingly.
Right.
It sure does seem. It sure does seem like that extra second is unnecessary, doesn't it, sir?
It would seem that way to you, maybe.
Sir, if you deny that extra second doesn't seem like it's unnecessary, and you just don't know God's reasons, it's okay for you to believe that you don't have access to God's reasons, and it's okay for you to believe that God has. Sir, I'm not finished. It's okay for you to believe that God has morally justified reasons for allowing that extra second of suffering, and it actually is necessary, but you just don't know what it is. So it seems like that extra second is unnecessary, doesn't it, B3?
Well, I would say that seeming is not within our epistemic rights.
I think.
What the fuck does that mean?
Epistemic rights? What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Well, epistemic means knowledge, right? And our rights would be: do we have a right to say that? Do we have a right within our knowledge to say that we would know? Or
this is just a pathetic attempt at obfuscation.
Okay, then move on.
Look, you don't know. You don't have a morally justified.
We're gonna fucking get you for this.
Look, you're unaware of a morally justified reason for that extra second of suffering, right?
And you're unaware of any absence of one.
So
that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
Oh, it is, because seeming would turn. The seemingness would turn on whether either of us had a reason. You're not in a better position than.
So because
Sir, does it look like that extra second is unnecessary? Does it appear that way?
I wouldn't venture to say.
Why not?
Well, do you have a morally justified reason for it?
I have no idea.
The reaction rules are broken right now for Carl Bott.
So because there is unneeded suffering that has in no way...
You don't understand the argument, so you're busting in and you're breaking it up. So I was about to reply. Go ahead if you want to bust it up.
No, we want to know why, B3. Don't pay attention to him.
Okay, so... I don't know what restrictions are placed upon God's creative act, right?
Right, but it does appear like that extra second of suffering is unnecessary, right?
I don't know if God has an option to change that.
The claim isn't that God doesn't have morally justified reasons for permitting that extra second.
That isn't what I said.
The claim is merely that, as far as you know, that extra second is unnecessary.
I don't know that God's free to change that.
Isn't he all powerful and all omniscient and below?
Look, as far as you know, there's no reason that you're aware. Sir, is it the case that there's no reason that you're aware of that extra second is necessary?
And there's no reason that you're unaware of, so we're in the same position. There is no seeming.
Irrelevant. My position is irrelevant. Sir, excuse me. My position is fucking irrelevant. This is an internal critique of Christianity, sir. So don't fucking bring up my position again, because that doesn't matter.
But for it to seem one way or another, you'd have to have.
It doesn't have to be one more way or another. This is asking you,
sir. Be honest now. Are you aware of a reason?
Godless, did you get the sir thing from Darth?
You're trying to deflect. You're trying to deflect.
Well, I'm trying to add a little levity to the situation. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not trying
and you need to stop that.
Which is called deflecting.
Answer the fucking question.
I'm sorry. Rather than the video being named "Drunk Agnes versus Drunk B3," it's going to be "Drunk B3 destroyed by Drunk Godless" in debate.
Fuck yeah.
You could name it anything you want. It doesn't make it the case.
B3.
Go.
Do you have access to a reason why that extra second of suffering is necessary, or are you unaware of one?
I have no access to such a reason. I could speculate, but I have no definite access. No certainty.
So it seems unnecessary. It appears like it's unnecessary. Whether or not it actually is, right? God might have more.
I disagree. I disagree.
You don't think that it appears like it's unnecessary?
No, because I wouldn't.
You're being dishonest. You're saying you have no reason. You have no access to any reason of why it is necessary.
I don't need access to a reason to step back and say that I wouldn't venture to decide what's in God's heart or knowledge or mind. We're talking about God.
If you're unaware of any reasons, then it seems
I don't need to be aware. I don't need to be aware. That doesn't
If
mean
you're
it seems like
unaware of
there's no
any
reason.
reasons, then it appears like there's no reasons, sir.
False. It could seem like I just don't know.
What does it appear like then?
It appears like we just don't know.
No matter what, like no matter how much suffering is, it's going to appear like you don't know.
Well, I mean, just for can I speak for 40 seconds?
Sure, I know that you can when I finish speaking, and I know that you're just hoping. You're hoping that during those 40 seconds I interrupt you, so then you can whine and bitch. Oh,
No,
God, listen. Excuse me, I'm not finished. Excuse me, I'm not finished. Excuse me. So you can whine and bitch. Oh, Godless interrupted me. See, I can't speak. But you know what? That's not gonna fucking happen. I'm not going to interrupt you. You're free to speak as long as you want. Go ahead, B3. The stage is yours.
I fucking love you, Godless.
That is not my motivation. When I ask for 40 seconds, it's just so I can lay out what I'm thinking, for the record. And I kind of lost my train of thought because you had to go on for a while. But let me try to reclaim where I was. I lost my train of thought, honestly. So say something new, and I'll reply.
No. We're gonna keep on topic here.
No, keep talking.
Wait, that was your 40 seconds? Are you done?
I was about to say something.
I told you he was hoping I would interrupt because he didn't even have anything. He didn't even have anything.
Exactly. He's just gonna derail. He doesn't want to answer anything.
I had a point to make.
He's afraid.
Okay, I remembered the point. I remembered the point. I remembered it. So the point is that if you look at the animal world, it's overwhelmingly happy.
How do you know that?
How do you know it's happy?
If you can't go outside and see the joy of the bees and the squirrels and the animals, then I don't know what to tell you.
I watched the animal die in pain, screaming.
The bees dying constantly. Look at the bees. They're dying everywhere.
There's bees. So his argument is there's bees, therefore there's no unnecessary suffering.
I would say amongst the animal kingdom and creatures in general, there's great more.
I'd say it's chaos. I'd say it's chaos.
A great majority. Excuse me, don't interrupt. A great majority of joy and fecundity. That's what I say.
Anyway, I'm gonna cash in my chips while I'm ahead and just declare B3 humiliated and destroyed and exit the debate.
Absolutely.